everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore Podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore Podcast starts now.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore Podcast. That's S-U-R-E, because we are always shore. Brought to you by the great America's Pulse Network. I'm your host, Damon Galdo, and I have two special guests coming on today. One is a lot older than the other one, and so he's a little out there, and I love him to death. He's the man. And the other one is a great young guy who has been on before, and we'll get to that. So first, I'm going to start with the breaking news. So, you know what? Let's go to breaking news. Let's throw the picture up there. Breaking news. Let's do it. That is me right there. Went to Trenton today and filed my petition, and I am actually on the ballot now for Congress in CD1. So anyone out there watches the show, look me up. Go to votedamon.com. I'm in a race of my life right now with Donald Norcross. So I'm going to be going head to head with him, toe to toe with the juggernaut of New Jersey. And it's not going to be easy, but I will fight like heck, and I promise you that. I will definitely do that. So let's go to the next one.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo, and I'm just getting started. Yeah.
That is right. I am just getting started. I am. And again, it's going to be a very uphill battle, but I promise everyone out there that I will fight as hard as I possibly can to get us back to where we need to be. So I'm going to quick monologue real fast. Tonight, on Jersey Shore, we're talking about strength, control, the future of our country, and right here in New Jersey, because that's most important to you and to all of us. Because while the headlines try to keep people confused and divided, the reality is much simpler. America is being tested on every front, overseas, economically, and right here in our own communities. And the question is whether or not we're in a fight. The question is whether or not we're willing to win it. So let's start with overseas. I would say everyone is watching what is happening in Iran, and the fear campaign is already in full swing. World War talk, World War III talk, escalation talk, panic talk. You hear it everywhere. But here is what they will not tell you. The United States is still the strongest military force on the planet. No one else is even close. And when America leads with strength, not hesitation, not apology, it ends, I would say, with deterrence. And that's what it is, peace through strength. So yes, there are always costs, and we have to endure that. But the working class, feels it first. Energy, inflation, uncertainty, I understand that. I live that, but sometimes short-term pressure is the price of long-term security. So weakness costs more. Weakness invites chaos. Strength restores order. Now, I want to bring it home to New Jersey as well. Because while the world is watching missiles and military movements and something else is happening quietly right here in our own backyard, data centers. And we're going to talk about that in the second segment. But, massive developments are being planned and built across parts of New Jersey. And on paper, they sound great. Technology, jobs, infrastructure, economic growth. That's what we are sold. But the people are living near these projects, the farmers, the families, on well water, the communities that have been there for, I would say, generations. They're asking real questions. What happens to our water? What happens to our land? What happens to these facilities that demand massive amounts of power and cooling. And the key point is they are not saying no to the progress. They're saying they're saying they want what's right. They're not saying that they don't want it to happen. They're saying, well, we want to make sure that it doesn't affect our community. They want guarantees. They want these facilities to be self-sustaining. They want protection so their well water is not compromised. They want accountability for before the damage is done, not after, because we see that all the time. That once it happens, damage is done, and then we're trying to recoup everything and fix it. We want it up front. So that's not unreasonable. It's common sense, because once you lose, your clean water, once you damage the community's resources, you don't get it back. So, and that brings me to today, because a lot of people have been talking to me about it, and I have a great guest on. I'll let him introduce himself, and you'll have another guest that's a lot younger that was on before. So, and we're going to go into a few other things during this podcast. So, thank you all for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe, and you can go in that comment section and make a comment, and we'll see it, and we'll put it up there if it's, not something stupid, because a lot of people put stupid stuff up there. But yeah, like, subscribe, and we had just had 2.1 million views on the last episode. Well, not the last one, the one right before. The other one, we're going to see where that goes. But thank you all for following us and watching these episodes. But this is an important show, so let's roll with the first segment and introduce our guest. All right, so we have, I'll do age before beauty. So we have John Valentine, councilman in Williamstown, and you are running for mayor. And you can do yourself. Have at it. So, John.
Hey, Damon, how you doing?
Good. So I'll make sure you hear us. So, John.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. I'm in a bad area.
Yeah, John is out on his farm, and this is why we're talking about this for this reason. And we have the great Frank C. That's there. He's young. He's 15 years old, but I never met a kid this young that was so involved in politics. He just went with me to Trenton to submit my petition to get on the ballot. He is a beast.
Oh yeah! Congratulations, Damon.
Thank you.
Let's beat Norcross.
Yeah.
Yeah, got that.
Yeah, let's do it. So the first segment, we'll go through this one real quick, because I know it's all over the news. And I call it Hammer One. John, I don't think you know why it's called Hammer One instead of Segment One. It's because my great buddy Seth, who is still in bad health and he's getting more surgeries, the poor guy, he calls me the Hammer. So what I did was I took my sledgehammer and I spray painted it gold. So I have it right here with me. So it's a long-standing joke, but I hope Seth is going to be doing okay. My prayers are with him. But this segment, we're going to go through Iran and why America wins. So, John, we talked about this earlier. Now, the fact that we're doing what we're doing with Iran, I'll just let you go with it. What do you think is going to come up with it? Why is America going to win after this?
We need to. You need to get rid of that evil. They've been at it for 70-some years. You look at 1983. We lost 241 Marines in Beirut at the bombing of the barracks. We now have a president that has a set that wants to do something about it and stop the terror of just not the Middle East to everywheres and all their proxies. Yeah. So we will prevail. They couldn't handle what we just gave them. Trust me. And I think Trump went easy on them.
Well, I wouldn't call it. Well, yeah, he could have went a lot harder, but
yeah,
he definitely could have. But Frank, I would ask you this: when this is over with, and I believe it will be over with soon, how is it going to help the United States? What is it going to do?
I see this helping the United States because we will no longer have to worry about the Iranian terror in the Middle East that's terrorizing our allies in Israel. And we have military bases in the Middle East, so we won't have to worry about the threat of the Iranians giving weapons to terror groups and terrorizing Europe and the rest of the world.
Yeah, and one thing what it does too is if we can control, Iran, and not that we want to take it over. The point being is if we stop they were the largest terror state in the entire world that backed terrorism. If we can knock the Ayatollah out and actually get along with them, I mean, Trump did something that I never thought he could do. I mean, he has Qatar as an ally. Now, I don't know how much of an ally they're going to be, but they are right now. I never thought that would happen. Because all the other countries surrounding Iran that are, Muslim countries, he's making deals with them. That's what Trump does. He makes deals. And hopefully it's working. Look at it, it's going to. But if that happens, it's going to choke off our enemies in China, Russia, and controlling the oil, that's going to control the world. And that is a very important thing. And I think when this is over, we're going to be in the driver's seat of all of it. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly. You got to listen. Just with him going after Iran, there's no more drones going over to Russia to hit Ukraine. They're running out of fuel.
Yeah. No, you're right about that.
He's choking China out of fuel. I don't even think you see that many Chinese aircraft over Taiwan anymore.
No.
He's playing 4D chess. These guys are playing checkers.
Yeah, exactly. That is the right statement right there. He is playing 4D chess because Trump has been sitting there. If you go back and you look at, I think it was before I was even born. No, I was born. I was probably like 2. It was in the 80s when Trump said that Iran is a big threat. I mean, he is consistent with everything. He doesn't flip-flop back and forth. He said it back in the 80s, and he said they were a threat. He said it again in the 90s and early 2000s, and he's doing what he said he would think was right for the United States of America. So I'm with it. Listen, I don't like a war at all. I don't want any of it. But they just had these long-range missiles now that you saw the news that no one knew they had. They said they didn't have them. The ones that can go up and go into space and then break off and then come back down. So
yep.
They just fired a couple of them off. So
they said they didn't have long range, and they also said they had no nukes. What says they don't have a nuke? They don't have a warhead ready to go.
Yeah, you never know. And
you never know. Like, they're not going to tell you the truth. They were the biggest sponsor of terror.
Yeah,
just the evil regime. Hey, what number Ayatollah are we on now?
I think we're 3. I thought we were on the 3rd.
No, it's 3. Number.
Yeah.
Is it 3? You think he's looking up?
Yeah. That's why he won't put out anything. You get when they all swore allegiance to him, there was just a cardboard cutout of him. So
yeah, yeah.
He's not coming out in the open at all and making a statement because he knows he's going to get zapped if that happens.
Listen, they're going to have to come to the table. They're coming to the table. That's all there is to it. If not, they're just going to get wiped out. That can't keep going on. We lost too many Americans over, this evil and how they spread it. And now the Strait of Hormuz will be a freeway now.
Yeah.
Look, we barely get any. Well, I don't think we get. What do we get? Like maybe 2% of our oil from the Straits of Hormuz. It's not a big factor for us at all. It's the other countries that need to police it.
Yep, you're right. And Frank, I wanted to ask you, being 15 years old, you're young, you're in the game, with the political game. What are your thoughts? Because you are the future. You and your friends and people your age are the future of this country. And that's why I do what I do. That's why John does what he does. He's a councilman, he's running for mayor as well. We're doing this for you guys, but you're involved. But what do you think about all this? What's your thoughts?
Well, the world right now, it's crazy. Crazier than it was 10 years ago. But, what we got to do is Trump's taking care of the issue right now. Iran was a major issue. And after he deals with that, I feel like the world's going to cool down just a little bit. And then everyone can start to realize we can maybe work together. But I don't really see it. because there's going to always be an issue.
Always going to be. There's always going to be somebody that has an issue. Everyone always wants what you have. I tell people that all the time, and they're like, "Oh, well, we should leave them alone." Well, no, you leave them alone. And everyone, I love America first. John, you know that too. I love America first, but you still have to be paying attention to other countries because they're going to want what you have. There's no other country like the United States. Like everyone wants to. Obviously, you can see it with the open borders that we have under Biden. They flooded in. Why would they want to come here if they didn't think it was the best place to be? But so that's the goal. We have to shut it down. Peace through strength. Ronald Reagan, one of my favorite presidents ever. I was a kid when he was a president. I was just born actually, and so that's where we're at. But like I said, this is going to be a real short segment because it's the very important one we're going to talk about next. So we're going to take a quick break and go into the important one that we all want to talk about. So
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun and it's informative and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
A South Jersey community is sounding off after an artificial intelligence data center was built in their neighborhood. They say the constant humming coming from the building is driving.
Well, that wasn't the whole clip. That was the accident. We'll play that in a minute. But yeah, that's my man, Jeff Van Drew. Look, John, he said, I'm the real deal. I don't know. He must have bumped his head or something, thinking I'm the real deal. But John, before we go into the first clip, let's talk about the data centers. I know the one in Vineland, and there's going to be another one near you as well. So let's just start.
Yeah, I wanted to protest up in Vineland Saturday. And then I got firsthand to take a look at that data center in Vineland they're building. It's big. You got to go there in person. And you know what? I don't even think it's a quarter of the way built yet. It's big. It's a monster. It destroyed a whole farm. Listen, nobody says you don't want a data center. We're going to have them, but just not where they want to put them. They want to destroy farms over this and destroy our aquifer.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I didn't really. I knew about the data centers, but you're the one that put me onto it. That what they're going to do if they want to take well water and all that stuff, and what it can do. I had to do my research on coning and everything else, and what it would do to well water people that rely upon it. And I looked at the drawings that you showed me for the new one that's going up near you. And it does say that
it's not going to go up. It's not going to go up. No, I can't let that happen. Let me tell you something. I didn't know what a data center was when I voted for this, right? The way it was explained to me is, they want to do a mega warehouse here, which our infrastructure cannot handle it. It won't handle it at all. And you're talking 800-900 tractor trailers a day come to this mega warehouse. So they're like, a data center, it's lower impact. You get like maybe $1 million pilot, and it's low impact, maybe 20 employees. Yeah, well, guess what? I voted for it. Clean Food and Water. Jason and John Duff from Pineland Preservation Alliance, a lot of them reached out to me and they explained to me what this really is. And they're like, hey, John, your farm is not even a quarter mile from here. You are going to run out of water. They are going to suck the aquifer dry. During the drought season, your farm won't have no water. So listen, you have to be educated in this. I made a mistake, and now I'm out against it. I got, the rest of council and the mayor, whatever. But, they want to yell at me about it. But, hey, they're trying to say I flip-flop. I didn't flip-flop. I heard what the community had to say, and I got educated on what these are. There is nothing at all that will come good to your community from this. And Wednesday the 11th at our council meeting, all the different residents kept asking, what good is this going to bring to our community? And not one of the other councilmen can answer it. I didn't have to answer it because I already knew it was no good. There was no good coming from this at all. Nobody says there shouldn't be no data center. Me personally, I think these dilapidated malls is where you should put these at. The data center should go with these dilapidated malls. Not here, especially not in the Pinelands.
No, and the Pinelands are protected,
So,
but they'll allow you to disrupt the Pinelands to put a data center. But I have friends and people I work with that are that own land in Pinelands, and they have to go jump through hoops to build a new house. And it's crazy, but they'll let them wipe it out and go to Pineland. And
yeah, I thought when they first bought $1 worth of Pineland credits because they were going to do a housing, mixed use there. I didn't know that they could switch over to heavy industrial. And don't be fooled when they tell you it's light industrial. It is not light industrial. And any township in this state has a right to ban heavy industrial from their community. There's just a certain way you have to do it. Right now I'm working on an ordinance. Hopefully I'll have it in before April's ordinance meeting, banning fossil fuel generators, full-time fossil fuel generators, which my guess is, they'll table it. But, I'm trying to do my best. That cannot come here. So I already introduced one ordinance, and it's just a lot of mumbo jumbo. The mayor put a video out, and said right at the end of the video, what caught me is that he's going to remove the use from the plan. That's not banning it. What are you talking about? My thing is, they're going to do a moratorium. They're going to delay it. And believe me, if they win election, this is coming back. It's going to come back. This needs to be 100% banned from our community. No games, no politics. Listen, they keep saying, you're trying to make this political. This is not a Democrat or a Republican issue. This is an environmental nightmare issue is what it is. It will destroy our community. There is zero good that will come from this.
With there, and Frank, before I go to you, we're going to roll the first clip.
A South Jersey community is sounding off after an artificial intelligence data center was built in their neighborhood. They say the constant humming coming from the building is driving them crazy. Imagine a hum that's just loud enough to get on your nerves all day, every day. And as our Joanne Pileggi tells us, residents have been complaining so much, the health department is now investigating.
Noise is really just one concern. It's part of a much larger picture of uncertainty and now cynicism as this data center project comes to life in South Jersey.
Right now, it's the immediate noise and the disruption of my life.
It's a common battle cry these days as the explosion of AI creates increasing demand for computing infrastructure. Case in point, this 2.5 million square foot data center, which is being constructed on a plot of land in rural Vineland.
It was supposed to be a golf course. That's all I know. The Mike Trout, Tiger Woods golf course was going to be there. That's all I knew when I moved back home again.
So, now, Frank, I just want to let you know that I went to a planning meeting with John. He asked me to go to it. And these developers, just what that lady said, it was supposed to be a golf course. Now,
have you heard about the cone of depression? It's not feeling gloomy or grim.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry, that's going to be the next video, but I don't know what happened there. Our producer, take your finger off the button so you don't tap it on accident. So, but so I went. John invited me to go. I was looking at drawings and everything else, and it's a 1.7 million square foot warehouse they're saying they're going to build.
1.6.
1.6. Okay, all right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, but they have no tenants. They said they were saying it's not going to be a data center, but they have no tenants. I'm in construction. I don't know anyone that will build a 1.6 million square foot warehouse with no tenants that are going to already lined up to rent the space. So, but the question I have for you is, AI is the future. You're the future. You're young. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think about it?
Well, I had to do some research on the data centers myself because I didn't know what they were. So I did some research and I looked up who was building them. It's a company called Nebius. Now, this company has purchased, I think it was, you said 1.6, John?
Yeah, where's this at? My township.
This is
Or are you talking Vineland?
Vineland.
Yeah. Oh no, Vineland. I think Vineland's going to be what, 2 point something million
Yeah, Vineland's
square
bigger.
foot. Vineland's a lot bigger.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and they have ties to the company BlackRock, who owns 3 to 4% of Nebius, which is 9.4 million shares of the company. So there's people that are getting in on this and will be making money. But I don't like the AI data centers because, as John said, this is South Jersey's farmlands, and they're going to suck all the water up from the ground, and the farmers won't have any, but the data centers will. So I am against data centers, but AI is the future. We aren't going to get away from it. So we just have to make sure that the data centers stay far away.
Yeah, right. For some reason they like going after the aquifer because the water comes out at 50 degrees. They don't have to chill it before they steam it off through their cooling towers to cool the plant down, but they put it on straight farmland. You're worried about feeding these data centers the power and water. What about our farms, about feeding us, the humans?
Yeah, you're right about that. And the thing is, I'm about capitalism and everything else. So, and I'm not about the whole AOC, Bernie Sanders, tax the rich. Listen, if you're smart enough to come up with AI and you're going to build something and build something for the future, hey, you deserve to get rich off of that. I'm not smart enough to do something like that. But if you did it, guess what? You're smart enough to figure out how it's not going to hurt, the people that live around you and dry up the wells and everything else. You can pay a little bit of extra money if you're going to be the next trillionaire. NVIDIA, the owner of NVIDIA, they're saying he's going to be a trillionaire, richer than Elon Musk. So if that's the case, okay, that's fine. If you created it, you're smart enough to do it. I'm sorry, but you had to spend a little bit more money because you're a trillionaire to make sure you buy something that's going to cool the water down. Get it from somewhere else. Figure that out. That's an easy one compared to creating AI. So that's what I see. So let's roll to the next clip too, just to show more about this.
When I'm standing out here watering a tree and my neighbor's driving by and I'm drinking out of the hose and he's like, hey, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
The neighbor warned him that the town's water was polluted with nitrates, a chemical that has been labeled as a carcinogen when in high levels. Officials of Boardman had known of the nitrate problem since the 90s, as documented by the Department of Environmental Quality. But Caleb Lay with Oregon Rural Action says that the problem is getting worse.
One of the concerns we have about that is data centers use a lot of water. They use it to keep their servers cool. And when they bring that water in, what we know from some of their permit applications and things like that is that they concentrate the contaminants in the water pretty substantially.
These data centers run water through a pipe system to keep the rows and rows of servers cool. During this process, quite a bit of water evaporates, concentrating the chemicals and toxins that were already in the water to dangerous levels.
And all this water gets dumped on farmland around here. And because the farmland is so sandy and there's so much water that's so highly contaminated, it's sort of a perfect recipe for polluting the groundwater.
That polluted water, dense with nitrates, then seeps so far into the ground that wells become contaminated. Jim Klipfel's well was tested for nitrates and came back at 52 milligrams per liter, over 5 times the legal limit of 10.
It's not an easy thing to live with. I mean,
so there you go. John, you were talking about that before. You were talking about how it could be contaminated after they use it because it turns off. It goes back into the ground.
Where they want to build this one at right here, it's on the Hospitality Waterway. Now that'll run through Folsom, Maysland, it'll run straight down the Greater Egg Harbor. So it's not just going to affect our township; it's going to affect a bunch of townships downstream. This is just not going to harm our community. And you figure how big this aquifer is; it's going to have a big impact. This cannot come here.
Yeah, like you said.
And just remember one thing: this is a couple $2 billion project, not million, billion. So yeah, it's going to be hard to spot. It's going to be hard to stop. And hey, I just want to say right now, I'm not crazy and I'm not suicidal.
No, he is crazy, but he's sane at the same time.
Yeah, just in case you know.
But
It's a lot of money involved, so you never know.
yeah, I know it is. But so I'm gonna roll the third clip here, and I'll go to you, Frank.
Have you heard about the cone of depression? It's not feeling gloomy or grumpy, or this collar for dogs. It's actually a groundwater term. When a well is pumped at a faster rate than the water flowing in the aquifer, the water table draws down into a cone shape known as the cone of depression. It's pretty similar to how when you drink a milkshake really quick and the liquid forms a hollow area around the straw. And that, folks, is a cone of depression.
So I ran that one because, especially with the pug in there, because our great producer on the other man behind the curtain, he has two cute little pugs. So I left that part in there. But the cone of depression is what they were explaining, Frank. And if you draw too much water too fast, it will draw it out, and you'll get actually below the water table. Say like I don't know, Frank, if you have well water. I don't know,
Yes.
you do, John. Oh, you do? So yeah, so when your pipe down there to pump it out is so at a certain level underground, once you draw it out, then you're going to suck up sediment. You're not going to get any or no water at all, and then it can actually shift underground to a different area to where you could have no well water. You have to drill a whole new well because they're pulling too much out at once, and that's what data centers will do. So I don't know. What do you think of the risk is, having these data centers? Listen, I know that it is the future.
Just think if we're in a drought.
Yeah, I imagine that. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of Vineland area, almost there, a lot of people rely on the well water, the aquifers below the earth. And if that gets contaminated, a lot of people and farms won't have water to use this summer. And like we've been saying, what if we get a drought? The AI data center is going to be pumping water away while we're going to have contaminated water. So there should be a study that's done on the data centers to see how they affect people's health and the environment around them before they go up.
There absolutely should be, because you see.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
100%. The problem is this technology is exploding way faster than we can research it.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I mean, listen, when someone comes up with a great idea and it's an amazing idea, then they roll with it as fast as they possibly can and try to unveil it. And they don't look at what it's going to do to the people surrounding them. Now, it is an awesome thing, AI, as long as it doesn't turn into Terminator. Everyone says all the time. But
yeah, I got that right.
But no, it is an awesome thing. But you have to look at what will happen afterwards. Like, you have to see how it's going to affect everyone else. Now, when I first heard of AI, I'm like, I didn't know about it until not that long ago. I didn't know it could do what it could do. And I'm like, man, this is amazing. And then I never thought, like, oh, well, there has to be these big data centers. Every time that somebody asks it, like, I read it. It was like a 10-word sentence. It burns up like 16 ounces of water. So, and people are on there all the time, I assume. So 16 ounces of water just for a 10-word sentence. Let me ask you the question, because it goes right into that in that rack of the server rack, and it has to compute it really fast, as fast as it possibly can, and it causes a lot of heat. Now, I know a little bit about stuff like that. I'm not a tech guy, but the building I just built had major server racks in there. You have to keep them cool. So, and a fire suppression system in there and everything else, and have these cooling units in between. So I didn't even realize that it computes so fast that it gets so hot you have to cool it. So 16 ounces of water, if you ask him on one sentence. It's crazy.
Well, just figure this. Them server racks, that's all e-waste. That's non-recyclable. That's all pollutants.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. But the thing with the water, though, too, I mean, what are they going to do with that? I don't know.
Well, I saw it in the field in the video that you showed in a clip. we saw the water going into the field and it's going to soak in, and then you can't grow anything there.
Right.
And, yeah, you can't grow anything there, and you're going to have a lot of it's going to soak back down into the aquifers, and it's going to contaminate it.
So I just don't understand why, this isn't a bigger thing. I mean, John, I know you're making a big thing about it, and a lot of people are making a big thing about it. Jonathan Duff, who couldn't come on tonight because he was busy. He's in college right now. He's a young Republican, but he's making a big deal out of it too, because he's doing the research on it. I know you are. I know a lot of people around you in your circle are same thing. You all live by farms. I just don't understand why our elected leaders right now in this area, in your area, aren't stepping in and saying, pump the brakes for a second. Let's come up with something, a better idea. But is there money involved? Is that why? Is it too much money? Are they getting kickbacks?
You're talking billions of dollars.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but when money comes in big time and they approve something so fast without looking into it, it just usually there's something behind there. So you find out that people get cancer from something or everything else but so much money that flows through there. I don't know. I'm just speculating, asking a question. That's all. So John, you got anything else on these data centers? I know there was Vineland by you.
Our council meeting, they'll be addressing it again. Wednesday the 25th at 7 p.m. 125 Virginia Ave, Williamstown, New Jersey 08094.
All right. Well, I will be there. So.
Oh, I'll be there too. Oh, wait, I'm a councilman. Maybe I'll be getting yelled at again.
Well, people keep you at bay sometimes, because I know you want to just go head first at everybody. I know you're
it's called a council meeting. It's called a council meeting for a reason. It's the legislative branch of government. It's not the executive. I mean, come on, seriously.
I wish I would have had that clip I sent to our great producer, other Damon, of the one that you were at that you sent me. That was hilarious. I wish I had it.
Yeah. They made it into TikToks.
Yeah, I can send it to him now, but I don't know if he would pull it up. But maybe next time. That was awesome. It was great.
Well, I just didn't like the fact that you're making this political and it's campaign season. Listen, I wasn't even going to. I was thinking about running, but I wasn't going to run for mayor. But after that, I said, you know what? I'm running because I can see how this is going. I can see exactly how this is going. The way the council meetings are ran, really. So you have the township solicitor and the mayor running the meetings. I mean, come on. We have a council president, vice president. We are the legislators. We're the lawmakers. That's why it's called a council meeting.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It really is. And then you're going to try to scold me like, oh, I gave you a chance to talk. This is a council meeting. This is my chance to talk. What are you talking about? I'm a legislator. I was elected to represent the people in our township. And that's what I'm doing. And they don't like it. Oh, well, the people of the township do not this data center. It's not going to happen. I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that this does not come to our township.
So I hear you there. And I see I just jumped on the chat here, and I'm sorry, we were engaged in conversation. A lot of people have been chatting, and thank you for putting stuff out there. Jimmy Myers says, yeah, don't tax the rich, raise my taxes every year. Great idea. No, it's not about taxing the rich. It's about giving. No, you don't tax the rich because they paid the rich people in this country pay. The 1% pay more taxes, pay 60% of tax. 1% pay 60% of the income tax. So, and if you're smart enough to build a company and be a go-getter and do what you have to do, create something and innovate, and it's based on merit, all that stuff. If you're going to work towards it, then you deserve it. So if you're not, if you don't want to do it, and you don't want to,
what did Jeffrey Lurie say the other day? If they bring that wealth tax in, he's moving the Philadelphia Eagles out of Philadelphia. Didn't I hear that correctly?
I didn't hear that. If that happens, then
I'm pretty sure I read it or I heard it somewhere that this wealth tax that they're trying to put in, he will move the Eagles out of Philadelphia, out of Pennsylvania.
if the Eagles get moved out of Pennsylvania, then the city will burn down. I'll tell you that right now. You see, when they win the Super Bowl, they burn it down. Imagine if they take the team away. So
well, they burn down the city either way.
But yeah, exactly. I just want to say, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But imagine they burn it down when they win. But if they take it away from them, they're I don't even want to know. I'm glad I moved from Philly.
Yeah,
I'm not Philly, born and raised, but I know it's a little crazy there now. But
yeah, I was there 19. I was there 19 years.
19 years. Yeah.
I grew up in Collingswood, so I was 19 years in the city. But after they made them safe injection sites and the used syringes exploded across the city, that's when me and Tiff said we can't have our kids here anymore. We got to go. Yeah. Your kids can't even walk down the street without stumbling across a syringe.
You're right. Same here. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So at that time, I was doing my historic masonry restoration, and then I was working in Atlantic City and Philadelphia. So Williamstown was the perfect spot. I was in between both, and then I moved here, and then I had a argument with the neighbor. Next thing I know, the zoning department was, I'm not a politician. I was never going to run for office. The way they weaponized the zoning department to come after me with all the fake violations against me. And then in my opinion, I hired the worst lawyer around that sold me down the river. If you look, when I was suing the township, I was going to go ahead and go after the attorney and go back after the township. I said, you know what? I don't want to take my own town's money. Let me run for mayor, let me run for office, see what I can do. Then I was thinking about running for mayor. I was like, yeah, nah, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I just want to relax a little bit. And then after watching the mayor and how they act, somebody's got to take control of this township and they got to fix it. Taxes are out of control. There's a lot going on here that can be fixed. I have an idea the way it should be ran, the right way, that I feel should be a right way, and here I am. So believe me, they already probably scrubbed my Facebook. They'll be putting all kinds of mailers out with different pictures of whatever. Hey, listen, if I put it on my social media, I'm not embarrassed about nothing, buddy. You got the wrong guy. I got one pair of shorts, it's got a rooster on it. Says, stop staring at my, you know what I'm saying? The rooster on there. But, listen, I went on Majarvo. I was 289 pounds. I lost like 70 some pounds. I was happy I'm down the weight. My A1C went from it's 11.9. It's now 5.4. And I was happy. I put the picture up. But see, that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to embarrass me. But that doesn't work like that way. I'll show up with them shorts on. They got no clue how I am. So it'll be coming out. You'll see. That's what the Democrats do.
Yeah.
They just won't stick with the facts.
So, all right. Well, listen, guys, we're going to take another quick break, and then we'll come back for the next Hammer segment. Coming up.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangen and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Hammer 3. On the ballot, Fight for New Jersey begins. So I want to thank you, Frank, for coming up with me today, even though you played hooky for school. Hopefully your teacher. So, but he had parents' permission. So, but he came up with me and got the petition in, all the signatures. And so now the battle begins, going up against the juggernaut with Donald Norcross, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a big fight.
I can't wait to see the mailers they put out about you.
He's going to put stuff out there that I forgot that I did. So.
Listen, first of all, they make up a lot of stuff. They do. They make up a lot of stuff. Listen, when I was running for office, he was lying straight about me. We had to serve him with cease and desist letters. They don't care. I mean, this time it's going to be different. I mean, if it starts up again this time, it's going to be a lawsuit. That's all there's going to be. You can't be letting people slam your name into the mud. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Just be straight up, be honest, and be truthful. Run on the merits. I mean, these guys get serious into these politics. I don't understand the way they get and the money that they generate. Look at you're going up against, Damon. How much money Norcross have in his campaign fund?
He's got like $2.3 million.
Yeah, right. See, for a job that don't even pay that much.
I have $2.3. I got $2.3.
You got more than me. That's funny.
But
we'll get out there. I'll be with you, buddy. Trust me. I got your back.
I know you do. Thank you very much. I know Frank does too as well. I mean, Frank, he came out of nowhere. This guy's a beast for 15 years old. So, Frank, what do you think about that? About amount of money that they could raise? Because Norcross, 1% of what he raises is from small donations. The rest is from
all the defense contractors.
Defense contractors. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Norcross, he's got a machine. He has people who pay him to be there, and he makes money off of them. So he's going to stay there, and he's going to get their money. And you know why his donations are only 1%? Because nobody's giving him money because nobody likes him.
No, they do not.
I think me myself, especially in these little municipal elections, I don't think anybody should have any money only from the town from the residents. That's where your money should come from, the residents. And you shouldn't have 3 times what the average salary is in the town, and you're spending on your campaign for a job that only pays $13,000. You're going to spend $80,000 or whatever they get. I mean, that's absurd. Come on.
No, they make like $177,000 a year. I'm
talking about what the mayor makes in this township here. I think it's $13,000. You know what I mean? Yeah. But these guys got a ton of money. I mean, it's how you got like double, triple that salary of the average person what they make a year.
So I know it doesn't make sense.
I mean, I never knew what the elect filings were until until I started running, and people started showing me all these people donate money, all these builders, the developers. I mean, you wonder why we're getting crushed with high density building developments. Really?
Because they're getting paid. They give this money to them, so they go in the office and let them build their stuff and make tons of money.
Yeah,
you're right. Why do you think,
Damon? You remember I brought you to January 8th planning board meeting?
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Okay, well, you take a look at what happened at that meeting. The mayor did most of the talking. Now we hire the professionals. And the professionals couldn't answer the questions, even from Ryan Kruger, the engineer. They got mad. Oh, we're not going to answer no more questions. Well, this is the public portion. That's what you're supposed to do. And they couldn't answer basic engineering questions, but the mayor was answering all the questions. Then if you look around, you had a couple of them up there on the board that are, playing on their phones, and the other one's actively sleeping. And I just thought in my head, I said, look at this. These are all appointed by the mayor. They are yes persons. They are puppets. I call them woofettes. I really do. Oh, that's what I call them. Listen, you go up against these, and there's no reason they couldn't have just killed this data center. And they're like, oh, no, we're going to get sued. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. That there's other townships that have done it. You look at Franklin, North Jersey. That's the ordinance we're going to try to rewrite to get rid of the data center again, banning fossil fuel full-time generators as the main power source. You know?
Yeah, that meeting was bullshit because, like
oh,
I said,
sure. They all are.
Yeah, it was. We didn't have a tenant. They swore, and then you were told, well, when they come back, we're going to give them the rights to build it, and then when they come back, they're going to have to refile if it's going to be a data center, so we can block it. Then no, they were going to block it when they build a building, 1.6 million square feet or whatever.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, so it was BS. It really was. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. They're just blatantly lying to everybody. It was.
Yeah, and you listen, the way they advertise these, it's got to change. From now on, I'm just voting no straight across the board until we get an ordinance in. And I'm going to ask Wednesday for an ordinance to improve the way that the resolutions and ordinances are advertised. They should go through a social media, through ordinance and resolutions, right? And it should not only have the lot and block number, it should have the physical address. And say if it's an area in need of redevelopment, it should have a summary why it's in an area in need of redevelopment and what they're going to put there, whether it be high density houses, a grocery store. And it should be all explained down to a 5th grade level so everybody in the township could understand what's going on. Because right now, you need a PhD to figure out half this stuff. And let's get it. Most people work, both parents work, or you're doing stuff for your kids' sports, homework, Boy Scouts, back and forth, everything. It should be on a 10 business days, be on that site before it comes before council. And the 10 business days should be what Monroe Township's business days, because we only work 4 days in this township. So that would give you 2.5 weeks for the average citizen to take a look at what's going on. Then if they want something, they can come right to the council meeting. Because the other way, I think it's just being sneaky. It's not transparent at all.
No, I hear you there. So, Frank, I'm going to go to you next after this. I want to bring up, there's a picture that I went to Donald Norcross's town hall. Now, the first time I went and the second time I went before, so that's right. That's that right here. So he screens every question. Like you have to put in your name, your address, your email address, and your question, and you put it in there, and then he decides who gets asked a question. So he knows who I am. So he did not let me ask questions before. So this time, my daughter, and she's a beast. I love her to death. She's 12 years old. And she, there's a boy that plays on not her team, but one of the teams she plays against for lacrosse, and that says that he's a girl. So he obviously he's a little bit stronger, faster, and all that stuff. And man, it's just science. So she asked the question, do you believe boys can become girls and girls can become boys? And now he didn't know that was my daughter. I had to actually sit 5 rows behind my wife and my daughter and my son, because I didn't want him to know it was my daughter, because he would never called upon her, because he's a coward. And he straight up, he is. So, but he answered in a way that I didn't think he was going to. He said, when my daughter asked the question, he said, well, it's a mental health issue. And not just here in Haddon Heights, where we were, that was town hall, not just in New Jersey, it's across the nation. It's a mental health issue between, between the parent, the child, and the doctor. Now, he voted against, that bill to say no men and women's sports. So who's the real Donald Norcross? Like, you're going to tell my daughter it's a mental health issue. Well, if it's a mental health issue, then why are we going to allow a boy or a teenage boy, almost a man, play against her, and she'll get hurt? So you vote against this, but you say this. So who's the real Donald Norcross? That's why I want to put it up there. So,
hey, maybe Donald Norcross ought to go try to milk a bull.
So Frank, what do you think, man? what's going on in your age group right now, 15 years old? Because my daughter is almost your age. So.
There's kids that are in the high school. They think they're dogs, so they piss and litter. Oh, you got that group, and you have people who I don't understand why the parents allow it. I don't know if they're aware of what's happening, but he is right about that. It's a situation between the kids and the parents need to straighten their kids out here with this, because I don't see, and I would just want to say, I don't see the point of that we need to have fair sports, right? We got to have it. Because Damon, you were actually talking to my grandfather today, and he was saying, you guys are talking about that. And I think Norcross is a people pleaser. He didn't know how to answer that question. And he didn't want to go on tape telling a 12-year-old that it's okay, that's okay. So he just read the room and said what would be okay for his reelection.
Yeah, he's a chameleon. He changes all the time. And so, yeah, and your grandfather, great guy, grandmother, awesome. So if they're watching tonight, so thank you very much for inviting me in your home. You guys are awesome. But I have to satisfy one person, Arlene Gajkowski, who is hammer me for the phone number. And the reason why, one thing we have to save too is the SAVE Act. We have to pass that SAVE Act. And she's very impatient, Arlene. I told her it was coming up. And she said, where? She's texting me. So I love you, Arlene. She's the mother of my campaign, I would say. So push past the SAVE Act, because that's what we need. We need to get through. That's why Norcross is so active right now, is he's afraid of that. Because you know why? He won't be able to cheat. Illegals won't be able to vote. And they're going to have show ID, proof of citizenship, and that's what it is right there. So everyone that's watching right now, share that with everybody. And there's a number. What's that?
You want to hear something funny? I went to Social Security today, right? I had to drop some papers off, and the lady says ID. She goes, I need your ID. I said, oh, no, thank you. I'm voting today. And she looked at me. She said, what? I said, no, thank you. I'm voting today. She goes, what does that mean? I said, well, why do you want my ID if you don't need ID to vote? And she just looked at me like I was crazy, but I thought it was funny. You need ID to get a library card. But see, what the Democrats do, they try to confuse it on you. They say it's going to be confusing at the polls. You're not showing that. You're not proving who you are at the polls. When you register to vote, when you actually register, that's where you need all your proof on who you are. See, they're trying to make it look like you got to drag all your birth certificate, everything into the polling place to vote. No, that's not true. It's when you register to vote, that's when you need to prove who you are. And you should. You need an ID to do anything. You need an ID to buy a beer. You need an ID to buy cigarettes. You need an ID to gamble. Yeah. I need an ID just to walk in my doctor's office.
Frank almost didn't get into the building in Trenton today because they asked for an ID. And he said,
he didn't have a student ID?
No, I didn't have. He's like, I'm 15. I'm like, listen, he's with me. He's 15. I said, you want to come? And he said, well, I have a debit card with my name on it. And it was a little bit, but we got him in. But they wanted an ID for that, just for him to walk down the hallway.
Yeah, when I took my college placement test, they wanted 2 forms of photo ID so I could sit down and take a test on a computer. Should have said I was good. Well, how come you can vote without an ID?
Yeah. So,
just tell them, no, thank you. I'm voting today.
Yeah, it's bull. It's BS. No, that's a good thing that you said. I'm voting today. Like if I were to go to buy a pack of cigarettes or something, they want to scan my ID, and I don't condone smoking. I'm going to quit. I swear to God I will. I quit for 2 years, and I'm going to give it up. I promise. But anyway,
running for Congress, you ain't giving it up.
Well, after I win, and the pressure's off, I will. I don't know. I'm making it too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so But yeah, I just say that to them. Hey, well, no, I'm voting today, and that was awesome. And they said, what do you mean you're voting today? What? I'm voting today. What are you not here? So that was actually spot on. That's awesome. So Arlene, Texas again, call. So call that number. We can throw it back up there one more time because we're going to take one quick break. And there it is again. There's the number to call for the SAVE Act. We need it. Save America Act. We need that to happen to go through. And so we're going to take a quick break. This is the quick segment at the end. So we're going to go through and we'll go from there. So thank you guys and stay tuned.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
All right, everyone, welcome back to this is the punchable face segment, and this is something I came up with a few weeks back, maybe more than that, actually, probably 6-7 weeks ago. I usually do the Patriot and the Loser of the Week award, which I do that on Fridays. And so whoever the Patriot is, they get that nod. Whoever the loser is, they get that nod. So then I figured for Mondays, we'll do the punchable face. And it's a funny thing because it's from Step Brothers, the movie. So, but I'll just let you guys watch. Everyone's watching. Check it out. Let's just roll punchable face.
Hey. Not bad. You're nailing it.
Thanks, Randy.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
God damn it, I don't know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
No, not really. It's your face. And again, you're doing great, man. This is the Kettling Wine.
Yeah.
We're all having a great time. Everybody's having fun. You pulled it off, all right? But if you don't change your face, I'm going to change it for you.
Okay. All I can do is take that in and consider it, and I'll just try to do my best version of whatever I think that would be.
I don't even hear what you're saying right now because your face is driving me nuts.
Thanks again, though.
So that's our producer's work there. He does a great job, except for the fact that it was supposed to be Norcross, not Gavin Newsom.
Same thing.
Yeah, but either way, it doesn't matter. But it's fine. But yeah, so I figured have fun with it. Got to have fun with the podcast here and there. But guys, thanks for coming on. And before we go, I want to talk about Pennies in Action and bring that up. Pennies in Action is something. It's a fundraiser for immunotherapy cancer treatment, and it is working for a lot of people. My sister got into the trial, and thank God that I ran into it. Thank you, Steve DiOrio, for inviting me to the first fundraiser for it, because it's a trial treatment, and stage 4 breast cancer and other cancers that are incurable are being cured through this. And my sister went through 20 weeks of it after she was diagnosed with stage 4, after she went through double mastectomy, proton therapy, chemotherapy, and all that. She had stage 3, and then metastasized to her bone marrow. And after that, she was deemed terminal, and it's never been cured before until Dr. Zanicki started this treatment, and it's working. So anybody that out there, I know I want you to donate to my campaign at votedamongaldo.com. It's very important for me, to try to beat Norcross. But this one, you can go to this one first, because I'll figure it out on my own for my campaign. But that's an important one to me for my sister. So we'll go into the candidates that are running in the federal election. So let's roll the first one. There's Justin Murphy. We're with him today. He submitted his petition, so he's on the ballot. Justin, I'm not kidding. Get a smartphone, please. I'm not gonna lay off you.
He had you and I looking up zip codes on our phone.
He's an awesome. He's going to be a great U.S. senator. He's great, but just get a smartphone. So, but he's old school. So let's go to the next one. That's an important one right there. That's a very important one right there. Damon Galdo for Congress. So guys, anybody listening, please, I hate to ask for it, but money wins campaigns. Norcross has like $2.3 million. Like I said, I got like $2.3. So I'm doing this on my own. I do have the GOP support. They're going to help me out. I know they are, but they're not going to be able to provide me with Norcross money from the defense contractors and all that stuff. So the 2.1 million people that watched the podcast from last week, if you can just go on my website and donate $1, every one of you, that's all I need, $1. Then I'll be right up there with Norcross. So I would appreciate that very much. $1. You can do 50 cents if you want, and I'll take half of what he has, and that I'll put it to good use. So we'll go to the next one here. My man Jeff Van Drew. We saw him earlier in the clip. So Jeff is awesome. He's going to win. I know he is. I mean, Jeff is a strong guy, and he's solid. And I know he caught flack by. He was a Democrat, just like I used to be, but he ran as a Democrat and he switched to Republican before he was sworn in. But it was a smart move because he was so tired of the far left of what they were doing. He's like, I cannot do this anymore. Jeff is an awesome guy. Down to earth. He talks to everybody. He listens to everybody, and hands down, great guy. Then next one, Jason Cohen. Jason Cohen is the man. I talk to him almost every day. He's running in CD3. And I think he has 2 opponents that are running against him, but I think he's going to win. He has the support of Bergen County. I don't think he got any other 2. One got one got the other, I think, something like that. But Jason is definitely the guy you want to vote for in CD3. Next, all right, Chris Smith. So Chris Smith, Frank, you said he got his petition in today?
Yep.
Okay, he did. There were some rumors that he didn't have his petition in and all that stuff. I was a little worried about that, but he got it in today. So there's Smith right there in 4. So look at him. Next one, Hillary Herzig. She's awesome. Well, we saw her up in Trenton today, and she's great. And I think she filed her petition a couple of days ago and then brought more signatures up just in case. That's how driven she is. So. And we got Jr., great guy as far as I know. Never met him, but everything I read about him is great. So Tom King Jr., if you ever see this podcast, give me a call. And I'm just promoting you. So next one. Tiffany Veras for Congress. I make the joke all the time that her husband is Plexo Veras, played for the Giants. And I say, if she found out I was an Eagles fan, she might not talk to me anymore, but that's a long-standing joke. But she is fighting hard, and she's a great woman running for great things. So Tiffany Barris. Then Carmen Bucco, again, same thing. I didn't talk to him before, but he looks like the better candidate. I'm just recommending him. So make your choice. Next. Then we got Joe Hathaway. Definitely we need him in to take over our horrible governor's seat that she had in Congress. But so go with him. Next one. And then Greg Mealy. Greg Mealy's an awesome guy, great guy. I talk to him, quite often, and he's dedicated. And so I look at his platform. He has a lot of good stuff on there, and he would be great if he won. So other than that, we're going to wrap it up, gentlemen. So that's it. So John, you're running for your councilman, but you're running for mayor. So where can people find you? I know you're on TikTok like crazy because my kids watch you all the time with your farm and the ducks. And
I'm on the farm. I'm always on the farm with the TikTok. But you can go under Councilman Valentine on Facebook.
Okay. Do you have a website or anything like that, or just Facebook?
Not up and running yet. We're working on it. It should be up shortly. I think Friday we have to wait till our petitions are certified.
Okay.
I think the deadline's Friday. I'm pretty sure, right, Damon?
Well, yeah, they have till Friday they'll be certified. The challenge can't go after that. So yeah, by Friday will be done.
Yeah.
So and then Frank, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about where they can find you. I know you're a minor. It's up to you.
Well, he'll be running for office in 3 years.
He's going to be the next president. No, not the next one, but I'm saying the next president.
Yeah, well, you can find me on Facebook under Frank Civitoni. Send me a friend request. It's all right.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming on. Great podcast.
Thank you.
Arlene, if you're still watching, patience, please. She's going to call me right after this. I'm telling you. She's going to yell at me. She always does.
Jim don't call you first.
Jim.
Hey, Damon, good luck, buddy. Anything you need, I'm there for you, pal. We really need a change. We need a change. We seriously need a change.
I appreciate that. So everybody vote DamonGaldo.com. So I appreciate it. Guys, have a good night.
I'm John Valentine, and I endorse Damon Gallo.
Thank you very much. So, all right, guys, signing off. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
God bless.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started. Job site dust to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up. While suits in D.C. say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot what hard work means. They talk real big, but nothing ever changes. While Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain, I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town. Rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair. I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot. And tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for a work, and not another plan. Not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands. For Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan. Let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way. I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand. Cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. While the old guard keeps playing the same old game. But we're done with waiting, done with excuses. It's time for a man who knows how to do this. I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. make the crowd chant with no music.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what The Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.